Hey everybody, Crystal here, the Pineapple Picker, and today we're going to go over what sold from June 29th through July 5th. Alright everybody, thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, I am a full-time reseller now, full-time mom, and today we are going to go over what sold in the past week. I experienced a little bit of technical difficulty today. I have 3 batteries for my GoPro, and one of them was dead and I could not locate the other 2. So now I have all 3 and we're good to go. But my video is going to be a little bit late today. Just putting that out there. Okay, so let's start with June 29th. So if you watched my last video, you know that I picked up a bunch of Creative Memories items, and those sold really well at the beginning of the week. So I sold a Creative Memories 12x12 album in yellow with gold trim for $22.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. This is part of a lot, all of these are part of a lot of a whole bookshelf of albums that I bought at an estate sale. For $20. So the entire shelf was $20. So that one sold. And next we have a Creative Memories 12x12 album in green with gold trim with pages. And that sold for $22.99 plus shipping. All right, so next we sold another Creative Memories 12x12 album in green and gold trim with pages, sold for $22.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. Next, I sold two albums to the same customer, so I combined shipping on those for her. So it was a dark pink with gold trim album and a red with silver trim album. And those each sold for $22.99 and I combined shipping for her. Next, I sold 222 Fifth Eliza Spring Turquoise Blue dinner plates, a set of 4 for $34.99. I picked these up at Goodwill for $4 for all 4 of them. Next, I sold Vintage Sesame Street Library Volumes 1 through 15 hardcover books, 1978 complete set. So they sold for $32.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. I purchased these for 10 cents a piece. So I have $1.50 into these, and I think I had a higher amount. I want to say, I don't know, I had them priced a few dollars higher, and then I just lowered the price a couple of weeks ago, and they sold pretty quickly once I lowered the price a few dollars. I want to say I had it at somewhere around $35 or $36. Next, I sold an OrthoFix AC adapter power supply. So this was a purchase that I made an estate sale a long time ago, probably about a month before COVID started. So we're talking February, March, and I purchased the unit. So I purchased it's a spinal stimulator, it's called OrthoFix, but it was some device that you strap onto yourself, and I was noticing they were selling on eBay for somewhere around $60, $70. So I went ahead and picked it up because it was only $5 at this estate sale. Well, the unit itself did not work, and so I decided I would sell the power supply. And the power supply sold for $11.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. So I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, I would have been happier with a $60 sale, but at least I made my money back and then a few extra dollars. So sometimes I'll take those risks if I know that I can do something else, like part something out. Commonwealth Picker, he's great for that. If you guys haven't seen his channel, go check it out. He parts out board games, he parts out food processors, he parts out like workout equipment, everything. If he can make money doing it, he's gonna do it. And I think that's great. And it's a good fallback for, any of those items that you pick up that may not work out as a unit. you can go ahead and break them apart and possibly sell them that way, because people a lot of times are looking for those little pieces and parts. Next, I sold a Daewoo Ideal Keystone air conditioner, genuine remote control. This came out of a storage unit, and it sold for $17.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. Sorry for the beeping. My oldest daughter is making herself some food. Next, I sold a vintage Hager pottery ashtray, turquoise with lid. This is like really pretty colors, and I got it from an estate sale. I think for the whole grouping of items, I paid somewhere around 20 bucks. So this basically pays for that whole lot of items, but it sold for $24.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. Next, I sold more of Creative Memories. So Creative Memories 12 by 12 old style page protectors. This is 2 packs of protectors, new in package, for $24.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. Next, I sold a 1971 Matchbox Superfast number 13 Baja Buggy. This sold for $4.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. I don't like selling Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars. I don't like listing them. Number one, I don't know a ton about them. Number two, the condition always worries me, because I know that there are avid collectors out there that really want a certain condition of car, and a lot of the cars that I come across have been sort of beaten up because they've been in bins with other cars, and it just kind of worries me. But I try to take really good pictures and give a really good description. I had a few in a box of cars that my daughter was getting rid of. She's more of a tomboy, so she likes, you know, those sorts of things, and I went through it and just picked a few cars that I knew I could sell for a few dollars. Next, I sold 2 Hampton Silversmith stainless wavy salad forks. So these were in a lot of silverware that I purchased. I probably have no more than 30 to 50 cents into them a piece. They sold for $9.49 plus the buyer paid shipping. And finally, I sold a set of 4 Furby Christmas tree ornaments. They have movie guys, and these sold for $20 plus the buyer paid shipping. I have about $2 into these. I want to say they were 49 cents a piece at a local thrift store that I like to go to. And that's it. That's it for this past week. I had a really slow couple of days. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about I went to a couple of estate sales, I guess 2 weeks ago. I went to a couple of estate sales, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And I didn't really do a haul video. I didn't really video it. I had a lot going on trying to start the antique booth this past week, which, by the way, I've done about $50 in sales since really actually opening it on Friday. So I had everything set up Thursday afternoon when they were closing. I had everything set up. I still have some pieces to move into there, so I've been painting furniture to go into there, and I want to get everything in there before I show you guys the finished product. I think it's come along fairly well. But I've sold some cookbooks, I sold a music box, I sold some ball canning jars out of there. So it seems like people are really liking the kitchen items from there. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I have an assortment of items in there. So it seems pretty good. And anyway, I went to some estate sales a few weeks ago, and I had told you guys that I was going. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about which was really surprising to me even after the fact. So I was at this estate sale and everything was 50% off. You know, it was a Sunday. And so I start looking around. I found several Bleak pieces, which if you've watched me before, I love Bleak and I love reselling Bleak. It doesn't necessarily sell for a ton of money, but I just think it's pretty and it's collectible, so it typically sells fairly quickly. So I walked past this in one of the rooms, And I don't know if you guys can see that, but it just says print open $2. And I was thinking, okay, whatever this is, if it's 50% off, it's gonna cost me $1. So let's check it out. So I tend to do that. I don't know if you guys do, but I tend to look at things that people wouldn't typically look at. I tend to pull things aside and look in the back. Well, I'll have to do a video one time to show you guys. So this was sitting sort of right on top. and I started reading and I said, wow, this is a Snoopy print by Tom Everhart. And Tom Everhart did artwork. He's like the only person that Charles Schulz allowed to use the Peanuts characters in his artwork. And once Charles Schulz died in 2000, I guess Tom Everhart came out with this series of lithographs that they printed to sort of, I don't know, like to sort of honor Charles Schulz. So it says it's limited to only 9,500 examples, numbered sequentially from 1 to 9,500, plus 100 artist proofs numbered AP 1 of 100 to AP 100 of 100. The edition is signed in the plate by the artist Tom Everhart. And then it goes on to talk about the paper that's used and all these things. So I thought that was interesting. So I kind of pulled it out and looked at it a little bit and then looked it up. You know, I just wanted to make sure it was in good shape. So I kind of pulled it out and, you know, looked it over a bit and then looked it up on eBay. And these things, let me see if I can pull it up for you. Give me just a second. So I don't know if you guys know how to look up or search for items on eBay if you want to know what they're selling for. One of the things that I learned very early on by watching other YouTubers is that when you list something on eBay, you can list it for whatever price you want. You could have people have Cheetos that they have listed for $3,500. That doesn't mean that anybody's going to buy it. That just means that's what the price that you listed it at. So when you're searching for what's known as comps on eBay, so you want to know a comparable price for the item that you are looking to sell. So you're going to, you search the item, which by the way, you can also take a picture of the item if you don't know that. I didn't know that for a long time, but you can take a picture of the item. You can also, it also has an ability, if you see right here, to scan a barcode. So picture, so you can take a photo, barcode, so you can scan an item that has a barcode. Anyway, so I typed it up here and I hit search and I start looking and they have them listed $192. This one is a different print, but it's listed for $1,000, $999. So I go, whoa, okay. This is worth a $1 risk, right? So I purchased it and let's see. I'm going to go to, when I was done, I went and looked out in my car and I said, okay, well, let's filter it and let's go to sold. You want sold and completed. And then you want to go back. So completed, there's one that sold on June the 8th for $192. There's one that sold here on June the 15th. It was listed for $139.99, but there's a line through it. So that means usually when there's a line through it, that means that the person accepted an offer on that item that was below their asking price. So that's all that I have, I think, for that one. There are other ones that have sold for, that one's $149. This one sold for $800. This one sold for $149. This one sold for $4,500, but this one is an artist proof. So you can see that there's money in this, and nobody was looking at this, and everybody was walking past and not even paying attention to and not even paying attention to what was in here. So I picked it up because nobody was paying attention to it. But the other thing that I wanted to point out is once I got this home and looked it over, the ones that have sold for even $192 are not numbered. This one is numbered. So I looked at photos of the other ones, and this particular one is numbered, and I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to. It's 116. So I currently have this listed for $450. What I'll do is slowly over time, if it doesn't sell, I'll start, bringing that amount down. And I'll probably settle in somewhere around $200 and just let it sit there until it sells. I am a long game kind of girl, so while I like to make money quickly, I'm also okay with, especially with higher priced items or higher valued items, I'm okay with letting them sit for a little bit and, getting a better return on my investment. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we talked about the booth, talked about that print. I did pick up this past weekend. I did go to my favorite thrift store here in town. Well, it's probably about 20 minutes from my house. I went there this past weekend and I racked up on some stuff. They had clear glass this past weekend, was buy one get one free. So I purchased a bunch of not really clear glass. I had a few clear glass items, but I don't generally pick up clear glass because of people aren't typically buying it. It has to be really special for me to pick it up. I do like old bottles, so those were included. I do like old canning jars, those were included. I do like colored glass, which they were actually including any of the clear colored glass. So anything that I could find that fit that description, I was looking at. I do have a shelf in my booth that is dedicated pretty much completely to glass items. So I'm glad I got some more things to put in there. One of the things that I do collect are glass insulators, and I don't know if you guys, early on I showed a picture of it, and maybe I'll go ahead and insert a picture here of what my glass insulator collection looks like. I love it. I haven't found any in a while, but I'm always on the lookout for something different to add to the collection. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. I'm gonna take you guys to my thrift store that I love this weekend. I plan on going on Saturday and bringing you guys along. Hopefully we find some good stuff. And because I haven't done that type of video, I haven't done a thrifting video in a while, so I feel like we're kind of overdue for that. So I'll take you there. Like, subscribe, put any comments down there or questions that you guys might have. Hopefully this week also I'll have a little video about the antique booth and show you guys what that's looking like. And yeah, that's gonna be it for now. Take care, everybody. Bye.